Welcome back, nerds. Fino here with a guide for the new Bleached Earth challenge quest. This one is Beowulf jumping you with his entire crew, so get ready for a slugfest. Beowulf himself has 2 break bars and a large but finite number of trash mobs drawn from the 3 knight classes. Unfortunately, he has persistent debuff immunity, so Tai Sui devotees get screwed out of their fun. The idea is that Beowulf has a bunch of offense, crit, and damage reduction buffs that scale off the number of surviving trash mobs, so killing them off will make him easier to hurt over time. This arrangement lends itself to an AoE approach, but if you're thinking you can double dip and splash some damage onto him for a quick kill, you're in for a nasty surprise. Certain enemies, when they enter the field, will give Beowulf an NP resistance effect. It wears off after a single NP, but if you're constantly killing enemies with your AoEs, new ones will keep coming in to refresh it. Other enemies give damage and healing/charge, so get ready to adjust on the fly if you rotate one in at an awkward time. The last soldier is different, but none of his mechanics will affect your strategy regardless of what you choose to do. Further complicating matters is that Beowulf has persistent arts and quick resistance, an inconvenient but not insurmountable amount of both. But that leaves Buster unattended. When you hit Beowulf with a Buster attack, both him and the offender get a Buster buff, so hypothetically you could brute force this fight with sufficient Buster crits. That said, he's pretty fucking tanky from having so many living trash mobs, and you would need some pretty obnoxious card RNG to convert this into a fast kill. While using an AoE plus Buster crits is possible, the RNG for it is also really annoying, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it either unless you want to flex. To add on to your troubles, Beowulf has break bar mechanics. On first break, he spreads an increased damage, invuln pierce, and on-hit defense down effect for all enemies, a burst of charge as well. On second break, he gets 2 stacks of 50k guts, which are unremovable. On guts pop, he gets charge and crit chance. The charge acceleration, guts, and invuln pierce combination create quite an obnoxious obstacle to fast kill setups, but at the same time it's clear that this guy has no way to contend with the Immortal team. Both the Himiko and Morgan variants can meet the basic conditions to clear this encounter. The Morgan version wipes out the trash mobs and will eventually get Beowulf into a position where you can cart him down, all with minimal risk. The Himiko variant is funny in that it can hypothetically clear this faster than the Morgan team, because Beowulf has NP resistance, but you have a grand total of 0 damaging NPs. So you could just lay into him from minute 1 with Buster crits, maybe offload arts turns onto trash mobs, and grind him down that way. You don't even need a proper Immortal team necessarily. As long as you can borrow Castoria and feed enough charge and overcharge to eat Beowulf's punishment, you can freestyle the rest, though it's obviously much less reliable than the proper Immortal team. I think it kinda sucks that this fight's mechanics corral you into using the Immortal team for convenience, but the fact of the matter is that the Buster crit mechanics it nominally pushes aren't nearly reliable enough to recommend as your main course of action. Beowulf's offensive suite is just too much pressure to handle if you get bad RNG. Of course, if you're watching this in the future, then you could do the degenerate CL/Summer BB combo and lock in an NP Buster Brave chain every turn until you win. Subscribe for more, keep an eye out for surprise streams this week, I announce those in the usual places, and I'll see you next time.